right, 3x pitch BioMetric Analysis, a Nick here, and it's going to be the same analysis. So we just did your brother, and we're seeing some of the things. We're seeing the hip tightness. It's more dramatic with your brother because he's probably moving more aggressively, but I can see your hip abduction is doing the same thing your brother's is doing. It's causing your hips to cock forward because it's not flexing in that hip at the end of the hip to where it would lift up. Because of that, your knee's turning down, so you're opening with a collapsing leg. So you're hitting front foot, and you're just kind of rolling over your back leg. You're like your brother. You're cocking your arm. I'd say a little bit earlier than him, but enough to create some separation between the hips and shoulders as far as positionally. So if we look at the tools and we go hip line, shoulder line, you can see maybe even better than your brother on the hip, probably because you just have a little bit more mobility than he had. But your arm too is too abducted. You don't want to abduct or lift your elbow above your shoulder when you cock it, because it can put impingements. Basically, right where that shoulder's bending, it can create pressure into your shoulder there. So that's a little high there. You want to basically be on that line, that red line. So you want to cock a little bit lower just to avoid impingements. I think the sequencing is going to be very similar to your brother's too. Let's see. Well, you got your hips ahead of him, which is good. So your brother didn't do that. Your brother had his hips right there. And that's just because I could see your hips were more open, probably because of the mobility that you had a little bit better than him. So you're getting a peak earlier, and that's the separation that you want. The thing is, you see your glove, the blue line is your glove. It's pulling right there with it. Your brother's was doing that too. He just didn't have his hips peaking there. That means your glove is pulling a lot of your rotation. Once again, we want to get the glove to sync with the trunk and not pull with the hip, because that will cause everything to want to just spin. But because you had that separation, you might get more forward trunk than your brother, maybe not. Let's see on the linear aspects of it, the linear kinematic sequencing. Well, you can see you got your hip to peak forward more than your brother. Your brother's was late. But when your trunk opens here, I'd say your trunk's moving forward a little bit more than your brother. So that separation helped you get a little bit more linear force. Let's see what it did positionally. So it looks a little bit like progress. But if we go positionally, you're 18 degrees, your brother was 9, so you got 9 more degrees than your brother going forward, but still we want to get somewhere like 45, 50. And then, even forward, you can finish in your trunk still going forward. Now your front leg is not driving. You really could have gotten your front leg to drive. Just like your brother, your trunk wasn't pulling too far to the glove side, so you're not getting to what's called contralateral. So it's basically very similar to your brother's. The difference is he's 30 pounds heavier than you. And like I said, if we just took the 30 pounds and put it on you and made you stronger like him and you use that delivery, you'd throw just as hard as him. Okay. So where can we get better? We got to gain the weight. We got to get more explosive, just like you and your brother. Y'all have got to work on mobilizing your hips so you can really get into your back leg and get more flexion in your back leg here as you move forward down the same rate, and really get power and pop the plates and drive the plates, which y'all are struggling with. And with both of y'all already having the beginning of good hip to shoulder separation, it should really enhance that, and y'all should see big gains. The thing is like once y'all get that plate to pop or that force off the ground, y'all are already in a good position to really pick up velocity, because the more you do that, the more your trunk's going to start pushing hard, and energy's going to be coming up to the ball. So I'm pretty excited with y'all as you get your mobility better, you get your legs more powerful, and you start using it in your throws and your stride. You're going to see gains a lot faster than I would say most people would start seeing gains. So it's just a matter of, can y'all gain weight? Can you get more explosive, and you can continue to get the hips to mobilize? But I think that's it. It's fun to watch two brothers because it shows that y'all are very similar in many ways. And as much as you probably don't want to be similar, y'all are very similar.